Hello guys, it's me, Greed here. I've been playing a lot of the October 2020 patch that they released for Overwatch Classic, and I gotta say it feels incredible. Now there's a couple of bugs in it. Genji's dash is a camera lock. That wasn't a thing in Overwatch 1's 2020 patch. Doomfist and Zarya are bugged as well. Doomfist has camera locks that he didn't have, and Zarya can't rocket jump while she's bubbled. So the patch isn't 100% accurate to how the game used to be, but it is close enough in terms of the gameplay loop for it to be fine for me. Now obviously, the October 2020 patch had its problems. Baptiste was in the game, or Genji was nerfed into the ground and was pretty bad. Echo was a little too strong, Brig was too strong, Sigma was too strong. Obviously, the patch wasn't absolutely perfect. However, in terms of Overwatch, it was the greatest patch of Overwatch ever released. Hands down, it's not even close. The majority of the hit scans were playable, but were nerfed to the point where they were actually skill-based. You weren't getting free value out of a hit scan from spamming anymore. The DPS, all the passives were gone, thank god. There was no like goofy passive in the game. Another thing is, people might disagree with me, people might not like this, but the healing passive wasn't there either, which is actually a huge improvement on the game in my opinion. I think the healing passive today incentivizes people to stand on angles that they previously couldn't, and they can just spam there. So when you go to get value from pushing them out of that angle, they can retreat, wait 5 seconds, and go back to spamming. It incentivizes that poke playstyle, that kind of hit scan dog shit, just wait around, shoot people playstyle, and that anti-player interaction, because you get rewarded for being able to just stand on angles indefinitely because you can heal yourself. I like the reliance on needing to go get a health pack, go get a support, go get a heal. You actually have to go and do something on your own. And I also like that, and the only reason I do like the lack of a healing passive is because all of the roles and all of the heroes have so much carry potential, and there's absolutely zero counterpicking. Because all of the heroes in the game in this current form took a large amount of skill to play and get value out of, it meant that even if you were getting counterpicked by like 6 players on your counters, it didn't matter, because as long as you were better than them, you could still outplay them because your hero was actually strong. Tracer was shredding, Echo was shredding, Genji would do not so bad if his dash wasn't so fucking broken and awful and clunky and terrible. Same with Doomfist, he would farm. And obviously, like I said, there are obviously a couple of outliers that are a little broken and a little bit too strong, but they're fixable. Like Widow is in the patch, which sucks, but it is fixable. You would just fix Widow. And I think this just goes to show that when Sumito and myself and everyone else that was talking about the 6v6 coming back, and especially the October 2020 patch, when we were talking about it, we were not just talking about it because it was a thing to talk about. We were talking about it because what we were saying was correct. The October 2020 patch is vastly superior. There's no Season 9 changes, the supports aren't disgustingly overpowered, the DPS are capable of killing things, the tanks are in such a way, and the damage is in such a good spot where the tanks are able to, when they take damage, be pressured, but not to the point where they explode if they go aggressive. So the tanks are able to be shot and pressured out of the things, so they have to retaliate. And they are also to the point where you are allowed to go and do aggressive plays as a tank, because you don't just immediately explode if you try and do anything. It feels fantastic. There is no hero or role in the game that feels really bad, other than obviously the clunky heroes, but that's fixable. I just don't know how else to explain it. Like, it was so clear, so obvious how much better of an experience this patch was, and how far we've strived away from this. That's what I beg the devs, look at this and see how much better the gameplay experience is. There's so much skill expression. There's so much carry potential. This is what I meant when I said, oh, back in my day, the Overwatch League Tracer player would have an 80% win rate in ranked, because they would just solo carry other games. You know why? Because they were better than everyone else. They were going in, they were getting their kills, they were earning it, they were outplaying everyone, and they were winning. There was no ultra denial dog shit preventing them from doing it. There was no ultra sustain making everything unkillable. There was no get out of jail free cards, there was no get off me abilities. Everything was raw skill expression. Even the hit scans weren't annoying to play against. McCree was fine, Soldier was fine, Ashe was fine, Widow's obviously broken because that's Widow, but it didn't feel like when I was dying to a hit scan, I was dying to someone that was cheesing me to death. I died to someone that was actively outplaying me. because their health bars are lower. I believe Kree is 225 in this. I don't know, he may be 200. Hopefully he's 200. But you know what I mean? Like, nothing about it felt like it was free. It's entirely skill-based. And I love it. And I love being proven right. Because I said for years, bring this patch back. It's the best iteration of Overwatch we've ever had. It's the most skill-based iteration of Overwatch we've ever had. It is Overwatch to me. In my video, when I said Overwatch isn't for Overwatch players anymore, compare what you're watching now, the October 2020 patch, to the current day Overwatch. They are different games. Overwatch is unrecognizable in its current form compared to what I'm playing right now. The game is such a better experience in this patch. It's unreal. Listen, that's exactly what I've been talking about. And I feel so validated because I was right, and so was everyone else that was talking about this patch. It is the best patch in the game, hands down. Now, my issue is, no matter what happens, they will not just admit that. They will not go back to this. The thing is it would be possible. The only thing genuinely stopping them from doing this is the fact that they wouldn't be able to put the Overwatch 2 heroes in it. And they would. Genuinely, Blizzard, send me an email. I will redesign every problematic hero in this game and balance them for free. I don't care. Put them in a testing mode, test them internally for a week. If you don't like them, don't. Reach out to me. I will balance your game. I will fix your game. I promise you. Right? I know they're not, but in the small chance they do email me, I will fix this fucking game for these people, because this is the Overwatch I want. This is the game I think of when I think of Overwatch. And this is what everyone else thinks of. Every high-level Overwatch player, when they think of Overwatch, they think of this experience. Now, obviously, people are going to say, oh, well, you're just on DPS right now, and DPS was really strong then, so you're obviously going to feel like that was the game or whatever, and obviously you're biased. I played all the roles. I played tank, I played support, I played every hero, I played every DPS, everything. It all felt good. Nothing felt like I was getting scammed. Nothing felt cheap. I didn't feel robbed. Literally everything. Even playing Mercy felt good. Playing Lucio felt good. Even when the old clunky movement of Lucio, when he was a little bit less fluid than he is now, it felt good. I just cannot believe people will play modern day Overwatch over this. This is such a vastly superior experience. It's unbelievable. And listen, the only people who genuinely will not like this mode are the people that Overwatch 2 was built for. Overwatch 2 was built for people that suck at the game. They are bad. They are casualified. They don't want to be rewarded for their skill because they don't have any. So they don't want anyone else to be rewarded for their skill. So they don't want anyone to have any either. So the only people that are going to like this mode are people that actually like Overwatch, because this is what Overwatch 1 was like for the majority of the player base and for the majority of the existence of the game. This is what it was. It was raw skill expression and raw carry potential the whole time. There was no bullshit. There was no cheese. There was no infinite sustain. There was nothing. It was fine until the devs fucked it with balance. But this just goes to show you, if you actually sit down and try to balance your game properly and you care, you can make it good. It saddens me so much that we had this patch and they got rid of it. And then we moved on to Overwatch 2, and then we started making things like Suzu. Suzu is not or Kiriko is not an Overwatch character. That is not an Overwatch hero. Look at this Overwatch. These are Overwatch heroes. Not even Moira is really that much of an Overwatch hero, but I would argue Moira is substantially closer to an Overwatch hero than things like Lifeweaver. These are not things you put in your game when you think of Overwatch. It completely goes against the design of the game, the whole purpose of the game. I just love this patch so much. This patch is so good. I would argue this patch is as close to perfect as you can get. This is Overwatch to me, and this is what I want. And I think genuinely you can put the Overwatch 2 heroes in this patch and make it balanced as long as you actually try. Now obviously some heroes gots to go. It is what it is. If you make a hero that doesn't fit in the game, it's unfortunate, but it's gotta go. You just have to accept that your player base would much rather this game. This is a superior game, right? And here's my problem with it specifically, is they changed the game so fundamentally to the point where all of the people that actually like Overwatch don't play the game anymore. Overwatch is not the game these Overwatch players are playing in Overwatch 2. They are not playing Overwatch. And that's my problem. Is the people that are making the decisions about what Overwatch is are people who do not even like the game in the first place. Because modern day Overwatch isn't Overwatch. And that's all I wanted to say. I beg you, go play the patch. Go play the October patch. And I hope they actually bring this back. Put the game more in line with how it was with this patch. And you've created top 3 greatest FPS game of all time. The October patch goes to show Overwatch had what it takes to be the greatest FPS game ever made. And they were lazy fucks about it and they gave up. I hope you have a good day. I love you all. I'm going to go play the October patch all day, every day, until it's gone. I love you. Have a good day. Tell someone you think they're handsome. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.